everybody doing?
Good.
Okay. Everybody, I'm glad to see you this morning here. And you are attending the workshop about the pension boards, your covenant partner in nurturing satisfied employees. And as I mentioned down in plenary, I'm really proud to introduce 3 know-how grads to offer this workshop. Maria Soto, Travis Marks, and Paul Ramsey, who are all with the pension boards. And I'll let them take it from here. But it's good to be together, and we're looking forward to what you have to say.
Thanks for the opportunity. Do I need to, is this, I'm gonna go back a little bit here. I also want to, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves, but there's 2 other pension boards employees here, and because they're kind of big bosses, I'd like for them to, I don't want to mess anything up, but John and Ruth, will you introduce yourselves, please?
Sure. I'm Ruth Addison. I'm one of the executive vice presidents of the pension boards, and my teams are responsible for all of our member-facing experiences.
And I'm John Lindsay. I'm also executive vice president. I'm in charge of corporate development, try to help grow the organization.
And John's the longest tenured pension board's employee as well. Travis, will you tell everybody your title and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Travis Marks. I know I've met a lot of you in person already, but my position is Director of Generations University. What I do in short really is to educate our members, our employers, and our internal staff about our benefits and services, and ultimately to improve the financial wellness of our members.
Hello everyone, my name is Maria Soto. I am the Regional Account Manager for the Pension Boards United Church of Christ. I'm also the CHHSM's Regional Account Manager. And my job is to educate the church on the different type of plans that we have and ultimately educate them and bring them on board with the Pension Board CCC.
Great. Thank you. I'm Paul Ramsey. I'm the Philanthropy Officer. And one of the things I'll say too, because we're about George and Nolau, the 3 of us really barely knew each other because Travis is 2 years with the company, is that right? I'm a year and a half. I'm 3 years, but the pandemic hit right after I started, and Travis was hired during the pandemic, and of course Maria's been with pension boards for a while, but I don't know how well you 2 knew each other, but I didn't know. And so the idea of really getting to know your coworkers in a very transparent and intimate environment as you're doing your own self-discovery of your leadership style and all those things has just been wonderful. And so I love our relationship with CHHSM, and I'm proud now to be able to share that this keeps moving forward a little bit, but I'm proud to be able to share more about kind of a full view of what the pension boards does. And one of the things that Maria, Travis, and I would like to emphasize, along with Ruth and John, we have this is a pretty long time that we have here together. And so the presentation, if we just run right through it, will not last that long. And we'd rather make it conversational. And if you have questions as a pension board's member or as someone who's interested in our services or our suite of services, we'd like for you to kind of just raise your hand as we go along. You're not going to throw us off. We want to make this more conversational than just a presentation. So this is a picture of pictures, and one of the parts for me is kind of funny is that you wonder how long someone holds on to their headshot, like Travis. That doesn't even look like him. And Jim Mose hasn't looked like that in 20 years. Don't tell him that because he's my boss, and Joaquin doesn't look like it. So I go through this, and it's pretty interesting. But our mission is operating at the intersection of faith and finance. We're caring professionals partnering with those engaged in the life of the church to provide valued services, leading to greater financial security and wellness. Our history, so since, what's wrong? Okay, here, Maria's going to do this part. Sorry.
He got carried away, sorry.
I did.
We're
shocked. You're
Show me
gonna
how
want
to
to,
do it.
well, just go, you're okay, no, go ahead. Go.
Alright, so we'll go back. So as Paul Ramsey read to you, our mission statement is operating at the intersection of faith and finance. We are caring professionals partnering with those engaged in the life of the church to provide value services leading to greater financial security and wellness. We are a primary ministry with those who serve the church, offering comprehensive employee benefit programs for active retirees, retired UCC clergies, lay employees, and their eligible dependents. Our members feel like they belong to the pension board's family, as we are a caring and diverse community. We have members that have been on our staff for over 35 years. Our PB staff of approximately 85 people represent and share cultures of over 30 countries, and we speak 19 different languages. A little bit of the history of the pension boards. The pension boards have been around since 1914. That's 108 years. We provide the highest standards of service, achieving health and economic security through thought leadership regarding faith-based, socially responsible investing, through professional investment expertise that secures retirement income for our members without sacrificing investment returns, and through a comprehensive mix of products and services that meet diverse needs. This one is my favorite slide, because here you will see our CHHSM partners. 16 CHHSM organizations currently provide one or more benefits through the pension boards. And we encourage that you reach out to your peers so that they can let you know what their experience has been with us, and also the positive impact that these benefits have on their employees. Our newest CHHSM partner is Eden Church. The Reverend Dr. Arlene Nearing, Senior Minister of Eden UCC, is attending our 85th annual gathering. So you know her?
Yes.
They are our newest partner. Recently, Arlene and I had a conversation, and one of the questions that I asked her was, why was the pension board a helpful partner? And she shared a really interesting story with me. She stated that most of her employees who became members of the pension board's program were first and second generation Spanish-speaking immigrants, and that neither them nor their parents had knowledge, access to, or experience with employee benefits. They didn't know what it entailed, and if it would be advantageous for them to participate in any or all of our plans. She said that most of their first generation employees were more comfortable talking with a bilingual representative who understood their context, treated them with respect, and spoke their first language. And that their second generation of employees wanted their parents to be part of our conversations so that they could discuss our options and get advice from their parents. For that to have happened, the pension boards had to have had a Spanish-speaking representative. This touched base with me because as a Latina, I too have first and second generations that fall under these categories. It also reminded me of one of Nelson Mandela's quotes where he stated, if you speak to someone in a language that they know, it goes to their head. But if you speak to them in their language, it goes to their heart. This is something that the pension boards understand, and it is why we have bilingual representatives on our board of directors. And now I will pass on to Nicole.
So as the philanthropy officer, my main job is the Christmas fund, which is one of our denomination-wide church philanthropic efforts. And many of you probably already give to the Christmas fund and are pretty aware of what we do. I'm going to show you a video in a second that was the video for the Christmas Fund for 2022, and we're just reaching because all of you will appreciate this, because our constituents are churches and conferences. We're just starting to get the last money for the Christmas Fund now. I live in Denver. I'm from Denver, and I work in New York City fairly often, and I travel a lot for this job. But I was having beer and wine with one or the other, I don't know which, with one of the local church pastors. Do I need to speak into this for the?
No, you're okay.
With one of the local church pastors here, Chris Gilmore, who's at 6th Avenue United Church of Christ, and his sister is Erin Gilmore, the Associate Conference Minister for the Rocky Mountain Conference. And Chris and his wife, Christine, have been through a tough time over the last several years as she has ALS. And they've moved into an apartment building that's mostly seniors. And Chris is at least 7 or 8 years younger than me, and so is she. She's now retired as a nurse, but suffering and battling through in a very courageous way Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. And so Chris and I are just catching up, and I bring up how you doing with this? And he's talking, he had to come out for beers, he had to organize care, he had to do all these different things, and I said, this is idiotic of me, but have you applied for Christmas Fund money yet? Because this, just to come, the type of care that they need in their home on a very regular basis is exactly the type of reason why you collect money at your churches to give to pastors, retired pastors, lay employees, and the like, for emergency assistance, for this type of supplementation. And so the next day, Chris and Joaquin, my colleague who gives away the money that I raise, talked on the phone. He not only got some Christmas Fund money, but also emergency assistance. And one of the most, I'm not going to say that. I was going to tell a heartbreaking story, but I don't want to. It's not my story. So I'm going to show you the video that they agreed to make after this. And one of the things for you to know, and you'll see on the video, she has become the voice for, a huge voice for the disabled in Colorado, and has done some amazing things. You'll see pictures of her climbing mountain peaks and skydiving, but also being on the field during ALS Day for the Colorado Rockies, and really talking, speaking the truth through her suffering that we heard earlier today. And so I'm proud to be their friend, and I'm proud, and I'm really happy that they agreed to do this video.
Hi, I'm Reverend Chris Gilmore with the 6th Avenue United Church of Christ here in Denver, Colorado.
And I'm Christine Gilmore. I was fortunate to move to this amazing state 16 years ago to enjoy the great outdoors. I also got to meet, fall in love with, and marry Chris in August of 2021.
I've been a lifelong member of the United Church of Christ and have fond memories of the annual Christmas Fund. And I've witnessed the overwhelming joy of those who have been on the receiving end of donations. I never thought that we would be in a situation where we too would be in need of assistance.
But in 2019, I was diagnosed with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, and our world changed almost overnight.
But after the diagnosis, Christine continues to push forward with an amazing spirit. She spent time on the Pacific Crest Trail. She reached the summit of Mount Elbert with the use of a special chair and some very special volunteers. She even went skydiving. And she now puts all of her strength into advocating for those with ALS, even taking part in the Colorado Rockies Lou Gehrig's Day at Coors Field this past summer.
But as my mobility decreases and the medical expenses and caregiving costs increase, we are now grateful that the Christmas Fund is here to assist us.
Same Christmas fund that I've contributed to my entire life is now helping us to manage through these challenging times. The UCC is well known for its inclusivity in regards to race, gender, culture, sexual orientation, and mental well-being. But it's also leading the way for those with physical challenges, for those who are in a wheelchair full-time.
And people will always respond so generously. To be a recipient of that generosity is humbling. It's still hard to imagine that we're in a situation where we need help, but we do.
The little bit of help really does go a long way. Just knowing that we have a few more days of caregiving covered for Christine really helps to lighten our load. The Christmas Fund is proof that our UCC community is one of faith that is always there to help one another, whether it be those struggling in a life-changing situation, or for those who are doing ministry in places where they can't afford to be paid a full-time salary.
Despite the challenges I face, I still feel an overwhelming sense of joy, thanks to the kindness of others, to know that we all look out for each other by giving to the Christmas Fund. This is a simple way to make a big difference.
I love the UCC. I can't imagine serving anywhere else. I love that we're a church that's welcoming to all, and that we continue to push the boundaries of what that could mean.
Your generosity means more to me and to others in their time of need than you can imagine. So please, continue donating to the Christmas Fund. Thank you, and God bless.
So, we have, as I mentioned, a few, well, first of all, I want to, one of the things that's difficult is for caregivers to receive care. And the idea that Chris and Christine are that courageous and are willing to tell their story, as uncomfortable as that would be for any of us as caregivers in this room, the courage that it took, I just want to acknowledge that and celebrate that what they're doing for others by sharing their story is just tremendous. If you'd like to give, and I can't, it's my job, so I'm going to say. If you'd like to give, ChristmasFund.org, go there and you can give and you can see where the money goes. We have a few experts here, Maria and Travis, and I want us to get an opportunity to ask them some questions about our suites, our suite of services and the things that we can offer your employees or you as a member of the pension boards, because I think sometimes we don't realize as members of the pension boards all the different benefits that we can enjoy with this. And so I think I'll start with pension counseling. Travis, can you tell us a little bit around what type of services and relationships that our folks have access to with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we do, of course, we manage money so people can ultimately retire off that. And part of that process is when someone's ready to retire, we connect them up with one of our pension counselors. So our pension counselors will discuss with people over a series of conversations how to take their retirement assets and turn them into lifetime retirement income. And so they'll discuss different things. For example, the different options that they can select so that they provide lifetime income for themselves, but maybe also their spouse, maybe a child, or maybe also a church or a charity as well. There's different options. So we'll talk through and basically walk with someone hand in hand at that time so they're comfortable making the decisions that are really important to them.
Thanks, Travis. So Maria, will you tell us a little bit about member assistance?
Sure. So we have different ways in which we can assist our members. If you're enrolling for the first time and you need to speak to one of our care center representatives, you can call into our 800 line and speak to a representative who will assist you with any questions that you may have regarding any of the plans that we offer. If you are someone who's wanting to commence their retirement, we have pension counselors that you can set up, you can speak to and set up an appointment to go over any questions that you may have regarding your retirement. I'm trying to think, I think there's one more. Not sure. So yeah, we have the care center representatives that you can call into, and we have the pension counselors that can assist you during your retirement process.
And for the members who are here right now, they can contact you and you can set them up with this service, right? And connect them to the person that you think maybe they'd be best to
Sure,
connect
so
with.
if anyone is looking to start, to start any of our benefits, you can call me if you want, and then I will direct you to the right department, but usually it's our call center representative that will answer any questions that you have regarding our pension plans. But I can, being the CHHSM's regional account manager, I would suggest that you call me, and I will answer any questions you have regarding our medical, dental, life insurance, annuity, flexible spending, vision, you name it. I am here to assist you. You can call me. I have a business card on my desk, and I will assist you with any questions that you have, guide you through the process, and anybody will have a question for you, certainly get them and assist you there further.
And that's kind of what I was getting at, is that she can give you a handoff to the person that you need to talk to, because some of the time, I'm great at asking for money, I don't know a lot about money though. And so having someone that can point me in the right direction, knowing the question I don't even know how to ask, Maria is that person. The other piece too with the financial planning services, we have a certified financial planner here with us. Do you want to talk about the access that our folks have to that?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a certified financial planner, but the reason I joined the pension boards is because really I want to help people over profit, you know, and really when I joined that, I got that connection with the pension boards. And, you know, we realized that, you know, in life it's not a straight line between, you know, working and retirement. There's a lot of things that can happen in life, you know. You all can probably imagine the life events that can happen, right? Birth of a child or twins or, you know, something as beautiful as that, but something as a death of a family member, a marriage, a divorce, something happens, you know, a major financial event. And so, you know, we provide resources along the way that are free, confidential, and unlimited, without any kind of sales pitch. And some people I think are just getting you know, knowledge of it just now. And I'll talk about that a little bit later in the presentation, but we're here to help our members at every step of their life.
In the next few slides, we will go over high-level benefits we offer, and then after that, Travis will continue with our investments. Pension Board's benefit highlights: comprehensive offering of medical, dental, vision, and insurance plans. The Pension Board also makes available to CHHSM organizations the United Church of Christ Health Plan, with multiple options through Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, ranging from a low deductible to a high deductible plan with a health savings account. The plan emphasizes preventive care, including annual checkups at no cost to you, and the Health Stories program. Offered through our vendor partner, Health Advocate, employees complete a selection of wellness activities and earn redeemable points for a variety of e-gift cards and merchandise. You can earn up to 300 points. That's $300.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I love it.
I really enjoy that.
Thank you. Activities include participating in things such as if you have a Fitbit and you want to track your steps, you have a challenge for that. I recently participated in the drinking water challenge. There's even a challenge where it's like say something nice to someone and you get points for that as well. If, let's say, like I am primary holder, my husband is my dependent. Your spouse can also take advantage of the, sorry. Your partner can also take, your husband or spouse can also take advantage of the Healthy Stewards program. Also, like if you have an annual checkup or you went to see your dentist or your eye doctor, you can earn points for that as well. It's not hard earning those 300 points. The plan also includes other things such as international medical coverage for those employees traveling abroad, but it also covers for those who are domestically. Just recently on Monday, when I arrived on Sunday, my right eye was red like a bull. And I was able to walk down to urgent care right here and take care of it. And they took care of me right away. They took my card, my Heimer Blue Cross Blue Shield card, and I was taken care of. So not just internationally, but also domestic flights, you can get assistance. Teledoc services, where employees can call their physician and speak to them and not have to go to their office or their clinic. I recently did my annual checkup and I did your blood, and my doctor called me and gave me my results over the phone. I also use Invisalign, so if my dentist needs to see the progress, or I can show him my teeth and he's able to tell me, yeah, he makes me like stretch and like he sees it and he tells me if the Invisaligns are working. So I love Teladoc for that purpose. We also have the member assistance program, which provides one-on-one counseling to members dealing with personal issues. We offer prescription drug, dental, and vision plans. All of our plans are unbundled, so if let's say you only need dental because you have the medical insurance, you can have the dental standalone plan. Or if you just need the vision plan, you can just have the vision plan. And lastly, I would like to discuss the life and disability insurance. We offer life, short-term, and long-term disability insurance to employees at a cost of 1.5% of total salary basis. For our ministers, that's salary and housing together, 1.5% of that. I did say that our plans are unbundled, and one question that our treasurers usually will ask is, well, I don't need the short-term and long-term, can I just have the life insurance, or vice versa? The life insurance and disability income benefit plans is together, it's one. It offers life insurance, short-term and long-term disability. Here. Now I will go over some highlights about our annuity plan. The annuity plan for the United Church of Christ is available to individuals employed by a UCC church or related entity. The General Synod recommended 14% for ministers and 3% for lay workers, but this is just a recommendation. It is not a requirement. It depends on the church budget, how much they can contribute. Employees may make pre-tax contributions through our tax shelter annuity plan. It is an agreement with the member and the church, and they can contribute into their annuity in addition to what the church contributes. But if the church cannot contribute, this is a way in which the member can also make contributions towards their annuity. You can do pre-tax contributions, but post-tax contributions may also be made to the annuity plan. Currently, we have 11 investment options to which contributions can be allocated to your annuity account. And once you have that annuity account established, if you need assistance in allocating your funds, at no cost to you, we offer a financial planning services through Ernst & Young Financial Planning Services. Participating in the annuity plan allows you to take advantage of compound interest. And next, I would have Travis discuss with you investments.
Okay, Maria, you just told me a couple of things I didn't know. I work with Search and Call. Where do I find this to tell my churches they don't have to pay 14%? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a recommendation.
Is
It's
this
not
somewhere
a-
on the website that I need to find, or can I ask you to find it for me?
Certainly, I will guide you to where you can get that information.
Okay.
Great question. Any other questions? Okay.
Maria, and she could definitely help people out as well. So just as we move on to the next section, I want to open up with a question. Why do people invest money? Just from a high level standpoint. Why do we invest? What's the purpose?
Long-term return.
Get returns, right?
Planning for retirement.
Or retirement versus just the money sitting in the bank account, not earning much, earning a little bit more now than in the past, but that, to save money for retirement, for kids' college, all those type of things. Like many financial organizations, we manage money for retirement, for a long-term return. But our approach is very different, and I want to spend a moment talking about that approach. We have a sustainability report that we recently created and updated. That you'll have the ability to access at the end of this presentation through scanning your phone. But this is directly from the document. It says the Pension Board's United Church of Christ is committed to living at the intersection of faith and finance. Commitment is deeply rooted in our history and in the scriptural witness that God is the source of all wealth, and we are called to use the financial resources, however large or small, and covenant with God and one another. And the other thing that I pulled from this document that guides the way we invest money is the pension boards take seriously its fiduciary responsibility to manage assets in the best interest of our members to get a return. But that is not, however, separate from its covenantal responsibility to manage resources in order that all of God's people in creation might share in God's abundant life. So that guides the way we invest money. To summarize this in one slide, we have what we call a double bottom line approach. And that simply is that doing good for creation and mankind, in addition to doing well with financial performance for our members and faith communities, is really what we're trying to do. That is a double bottom line approach. And to highlight that, it's specific. So when we invest our members' money, we set limits on the amount of money that goes into certain industries. And it's impossible to limit completely in all cases. For example, let's say you were to invest in Walmart, for example. They might sell certain things that people could buy. So it's impossible to completely get away in all cases. But we do set strict limits on tobacco investments, on firearms, on gambling, coal and tar sands. So these are just a few things that we do to limit that are consistent with our values and the values of the UCC. In addition, some notable highlights from the sustainability report. This is from 2022. Recently we had $322 million in sustainable bond investments, and of that 161 million in green bonds, 161 in social bonds, and 50 million in COVID relief bonds. We joined with other faith-based investors and activists to support a petition that would protect migrant farm workers in a part of Florida. With other faith and value-based investors, we engaged with the apparel industry on factories involved in forced labor. Recently we invested $6.6 million in Bank of America's $2 billion bond deal called Equity Progress Sustainability Bond, which fights income and social inequality. We recently launched a new sustainable bond fund for our members, balance fund, for our members. And finally, and this is not an exhaustive list, again, you can see more in the report, but we joined 335 institutional investors with 9.5 trillion assets under management to release the investor statement on coronavirus response plan that is to protect workers during COVID-19. So I welcome everyone to read this report in detail, and I think you'll be very impressed on and how we invest money, how it probably connects with your own personal values. So just moving on, and some of the specifics here, I won't go into detail on that. But the next two slides, we talk about our investment options. Today we offer 11 mutual funds for our members to choose from. And they're all professionally managed by a mix of our internal staff and also third-party investment consultants. And these 11 funds can be really broken down into two groups. The first is the accumulation funds that you see on the slide. And investors pick a strategy and they monitor those investments over time, the mix of those. The difference in the strategy you'll see is assorted by from low risk to high risk. So the lower risk investments, the stable value fund, the bond fund, those are more stable type, safer, less volatility investments. And of course we have riskier, higher return investments for investors that have a higher ability to take risk. Let's say younger folks or people that are just not as focused or concerned with the movement of the stock market. And of course you can invest in a mix of these, not just one or the other. The other thing that we have is what we call target annuitization date funds. The way that these work is that a member picks the fund that closely matches the date in which they're going to annuitize or retire. And so for example, let's say my estimated retirement year was 2035. Then I would pick that fund and it would have a certain mix of stocks, a certain mix of bonds. And as I got closer to the retirement year, let's say that was 2025 is quickly approaching, you can see how the mix of stocks, the equity fund, that dark blue, decreases into a smaller portion, and you have more of a stable, replaced with stable and bonds. And so that happens automatically in the background. Our investors don't have to do anything. And so it's really nice for people to just want to set it and forget it and not worry about it. Worry about all the other things they'd rather do than investments, which I know is probably most people out there. So, so moving on to first let me see if there's any questions on any of this. We'll pause at the end also for questions, but and so we mentioned earlier that because we recognize that anxiety and confusion over finances are not exclusively due to a lack of money, but also often due from a shortage of information and opportunities. We link you up, our members up with experts to help you understand this stuff further. We provide learning and engagement opportunities to address the full range of topics for our members. In addition to those that I'll go over in the next few slides, we have specialized presentations. Maria mentioned our Spanish-speaking members. We do Spanish language presentations for them. We do specific presentations on retirement and other types of things. We're looking into stuff for a bivocational clergy, which is a growing area as well. So we're looking to roll that out in the future. So we partnered with E&Y, Ernst & Young, and to provide unlimited free confidential use of financial planning services. There's never a sales pitch when you deal with them, and the pension boards pays for all of their costs, and they have nothing to sell. So you can call in to speak with a planner. You have your own planner that you can talk to as much as you want. They will provide guidance, and here are some of the things that they can talk to you about, but it's well beyond that as well. In addition to being able to call up a financial planner, you also have access to a financial planning site where you can do your own financial planning on your own time, create models for retirement, get a questionnaire, to complete a questionnaire to see how you're doing with your finances, many different articles, recorded webinars, stuff like that. Tons of tools there. So with that, I'm just going here again. If you're inclined to, you can scan this and get a copy of our sustainability report, and I encourage you to do that to see more details how we invest money. So with that, I'll pass it back to Paul to close up and answer any questions.
Travis, just before we go on,
Yeah.
one other thing I wanted to point out about EY is that you can be in any of our benefit programs and still have access to EY, and you can call them, and it doesn't have to be related to your retirement fund. You can call them with questions about estate planning. You can call them with questions about budgets, taxes, So it's not restricted to just about your retirement plan.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm gonna, does anyone have any, I'm not the one answering the questions, I'm asking you if you have any questions. But for any of us, do any of you have any questions about this presentation or about any other pension board services? Yes, sir.
I don't have any real questions, but just give you a couple plugs. I'm Mike Brent, I'm the CEO of Every Child's Hope in St. Louis.
I'm like,
And I'm retiring at the end of June. And been in the fund for 25 years, so I just would say two things on your guys' behalf. One, is I also have other resources invested outside the pension board. It's very competitive. What you guys have done, invested over the 25 years, is very competitive what I see in the commercial market. So that's number one. And number two, I called just last week, I think, at the beginning of last week, just to get the lowdown on, okay, I'm retiring in June, what do I do? I think, I hope I get the name right, Valerie? Is there a Valerie? I talked to this lovely woman named Valerie, and she I was having trouble with the calculator for whatever reason, and she was very pleasant, kind of walked me through and gave me, the what fars about what I need to do when. So it was very helpful, very pleasant, so job well done.
thank you very much, thanks, thank you.
I treat.
Any other compliments?
She was absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
Because I'm technology challenged, and she walked me right through it. We got through it.
Any other compliments? I don't. It's fun.
As conference staff, where I said I work search and call, I learned a lot of things I didn't know. Is there a way that conference staff can plug in better to get this information? I can't tell my churches if I don't know it.
Yes, well, one of the things I would say is our colleague, Jonathan Lee, works with Chad, and I think you could set up, what I would recommend you do is have Chad or you set up a call where Jonathan Lee and he is a great presenter and really understands who we are and what we do. But he's our church and conference relations director, and he would work with the conference staff to give you a more full view of something similar to this, but a more full view, and you'd have questions, and you could do this as a staff so that you're not just going back to interpret it to the rest of the conference staff, but Jonathan could do that with you.
Because I'm sure I'm not the only conference staff person who does search and call, who doesn't know all of this.
Right.
Yes, and
We need a better way to plug in, particularly I'm thinking of the Alliance of ACMs. We do a lot of the search and call.
And if it's related to member services and benefits, Maria can steward that, Travis can steward that, and others. But Jonathan would be a good person to start with for you and Chad. Thank you, Monica.
And I can connect you, I'll connect you.
Yes, Travis
With
can.
introduction, yeah. I work pretty closely with him as well.
Thanks, Travis. Anyone else? John, did you want to say anything about any of the benefits or anything that you?
I'll give one quick plug. So the pension board started, we working with the United Church of Christ, we started a team to bring a credit union to the United Church of Christ. And we're I would say within a month or so, you'll see that there'll be a charter for the credit union, and you'll hear more about it. And we're anticipating an October 1 grand opening, if all goes well. But where we are right now, the credit union charter is in the last phase with the last person at the NCUA, which is the National Credit Union Administration. So it's there, and I'm waiting like a kid at Christmas to hear that we get the charter, and you'll hear more about it coming soon. So.
And one of the things I'm excited is, as the philanthropy officer, there will be benefit to the causes that we care about and that we give money to, that you're already giving money to through the credit union. That it will give back to UCC causes and UCC ministers and all those different things. And so I'm not just excited about being a member, but I'm excited about
Because
that
credit
process.
unions, like they take half their profit, go back to the members, but the other half will do things in the community and do things so we plan to partner with conferences, churches to bring back, because that's part of what credit unions do. Banks make money, credit unions help the members, and since we'll all be members of the credit union, it will help all of us.
we really appreciate you listening to us and being here for this, and we appreciate your being a member of our organization, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks very much. Thanks, Travis.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.